Hello everybody, it's Val, and sorry, my cat just decided she wanted to be here, and what can you do, cats, am I right? So, yeah, I've disappeared for quite a while. I'm sorry, I truly wanted to do that, the 1 month update, but I've been having some issues because, as you can see, I'm recording on a completely different medium than before. Like, I am recording on my phone. Using my phone as a computer camera because I don't have any fancy equipment and I don't have the money to buy any fancy equipment, but my phone has a good camera, so why not use that? But I haven't really figured out a way to do that properly. So if this is wonky as shit or I look awkward because my computer is my viewfinder but it's in a weird place and all, and my eyes look in weird places, I'm sorry, you just have to deal with it because I cannot record this for a third time because I've already made 2 videos, one at 1 month and one at a month and a half, and I had to delete them because they were way too awkward, my face looked weird and I talked weird, and I'm sorry, you'll have to deal with this because I'm doing this now. So, it's been 2 months. What has changed? Okay, so the first thing that you might be noticing, actually, with your eyes, is my mustache has grown a lot. Yeah, my mustache has grown, and I actually am planning on shaving it again because I don't like, having just a mustache. I'm warming up to it, but I'd rather have a full beard before, I just grow my mustache out. I don't like it that much, but I'm really happy that I'm growing a mustache, like a proper one, not just my baby peach fuzz before. As for the rest of my facial hair, I actually have grown some facial hair, but none that you can see with your naked eye. Like, if I take a flash photo of my face, you can notice that there's some fine hairs, like here and here and here, especially like here. But it's nothing like, groundbreaking. You cannot see it. What else? My voice. My voice has gotten lower. So as you can probably hear, it's nothing. Yeah, again, it's nothing really major. It still sounds pretty high and pretty feminine, especially. But yeah, like, considering how high a voice I started with, I'm pretty happy with it so far. Yeah, my chest has gotten smaller, not by a lot. Not by a lot, because, let me just say, I started out with a very, very big chest. It's almost ridiculous, like, I'm a tiny guy, I'm a really small guy, right? I'm short, I'm not too chunky physically. Like, yeah, I have some curves, but who doesn't? And still I have this, like, humongous chest. It's quite difficult to live with that because even binding I have a pretty noticeable bump and it doesn't look right with my petite physique. But my chest has gotten a tiny bit smaller and, like, a tiny bit saggier, and, like, there is less stuff in my chest. I don't know if you get what I mean. It's not enough to make a difference when I bind yet, but hopefully it will soon. I'm also been working out, like, my body looks the same, but I've been gaining muscle, so that's great. Like, people have been commenting that I look more buff, that my arms look stronger, and I haven't noticed any difference, but it's not like I'm going to complain. Also, my hair gets a lot greasier, a lot quicker. Like, I used to be able to wash it once a week, and it would be like, clean for the whole week. I didn't need to wash it because it was clean, it was alright, it was fine. And now I have to wash it every other day or on every 3 days because it gets like a greasy mess. And I know, like, a lot of people do that by routine. How can you not wash your hair every other day? Like, isn't it super greasy? But no, it was fine. It was really, really clean for a whole week, and now I have to wash it every other day. But It's not like I wasn't, prepared for the negative stuff too. Like, another thing that has happened is I have a lot more hair on my stomach, like a lot, a crazy amount. Like, that is pretty noticeable. It's like I have like almost the same hair on my stomach now that I have on my arms, which is not like, I know it probably doesn't sound like a lot, but it, like, before I had like no hair at all. Like, I had one dark hair on my belly, like next to my belly button, and now it's like all over my stomach. I don't know if it's because that's where I put my testosterone. It may be. I don't know. Probably. Maybe if I put it on my arms or my thighs, I would grow more hair there. Possibly. Who knows? Also, my temperature has increased. Like one thing that I've been noticing is that at night, I used to always sleep with my covers on, even if it's super hot, just because, I like being comfy and I like feeling protected. But lately, even when it's cold at night, I cannot do that because I feel like my body, it's not like the air around me is hot, it's like my body is hot. It's like my body itself feels hot. And I cannot, I can't bear to keep my covers like higher than up here, because then it's like, oh my god, it's so hot, I cannot sleep. I'm drowning in my own sweat. I've never had stamina, like, ever at all. I'm anemic, so it's probably also because of that. Like, I have genetic anemia, but now I'm able to run for more than a minute without immediately feeling winded and like dying on the spot. So that's been great. Now, onto the TMI part, the bottom growth part. As always, I'll put like a timestamp here if you want to skip. So, bottom growth has been fucking crazy. Like, okay, so, let me put it this way. My dick, last month, had gotten up to like here, this big. Like, the size of the first knuckle of my pinky. Now it's about the size of the first knuckle of my ring finger. And it has a very defined head, which is crazy. And also it sticks out of my body, and that's great. I've been having to relearn how to masturbate, how to jerk off, because it doesn't work the same as before. But that's it, and that has been an experience. Another thing that I wanted to talk about that I haven't ever heard anybody talk about what happens to your junk on T. Yeah, my dick has gotten bigger, but it's not the only thing that has. Like, you know how AFib genitals look like? You probably do. They have lips outside, like the big lips, and those have gotten a lot longer. It's like they hang down almost, and they're getting as long as my actual dick. The only way I can put it is like, since now I have all of this testosterone in my body probably is thinking that I'm going through male puberty, and my balls should be dropping, and so it's dropping my lips instead. I don't know, I know it sounds weird, but I've never heard anybody talk about it, and it's been a weird change. And sorry if you didn't want to hear that about my junk, but it's educational. It probably could be happening to your junk, and you probably would want to know about that firsthand, because I sure would have liked to hear more about that. Not that it would have stopped me from going on T, or even that I don't like it. It's just, it's a weird thing that caught me by surprise. That's about it for my junk. Now, before I ended this video, I just wanted to talk about a bit about impatience for my changes. On one hand, I'm better right now emotionally than I've probably been in my entire life. Like, I don't remember ever feeling this calm and this quiet, like in my brain. Like, my brain used to have like this constant buzz of so many things at once, and now one thing at once. Like, I have one thought in my mind at all times. Like, it's not like this constant interloping streams of different thoughts. It's just like one thing. Like, I get one thought, then that thought ends, and then a new one starts, and it's like, it's so quiet, it's so calm, and it's so peaceful, and I've never felt like that ever at all in my entire life. Not even as a child. Like on one hand, I'm feeling so great. And on the other, I'm thinking like, wow, I'm already on testosterone. Like I've gotten this far and almost nothing has changed. Like my voice still sounds very feminine and my body has not changed at all. And I don't have a beard and my face looks the same, and what's happening? And I know I should take it slow. Like changes are super gradual. I'm also on a very low dose right now, so of course changes are going to be very gradual and very slow. And it's only been 2 months. Like it's like not time at all. 2 months is like nothing. But on the other hand, in my mind, it's like, okay, I've suffered my entire life. Like I've been wanting my whole life to be me, to wake up and feel like me, like myself. And it kind of feels like unfair that I have to wait more for changes to happen instead, like waking up one day and just being a completely different person, which probably is for the best. Like, I don't know. I know it's probably what works for most people, like gradual changes, because so that it doesn't alienate them. But I've spent my whole life being alienated from myself and from my mind and from my body. I spent my whole life dissociating. Like I don't even as a child, I remember dissociating from my body as a 3-year-old. And I feel like I need complete and total change to finally wake up and feel like myself for once. But it's okay. Like changes are happening, and I have to remind myself that changes are happening. A thing that I think happens is like, okay, you're starting on testosterone, but it's a low dose. It's on a method that not everybody uses. You see all the time people on T injections, like immediately changing. Like one day they're their old self, and the other day they have a beard and a new voice and a new body, and they look like amazing all of a sudden. And you're like, okay, but am I going to have that ever if I do this and not that? But that's okay. Changes are happening. Like that's not true. This is just my brain being a little shit. Changes are happening. They're gradual and they're slow, but they are here. They're happening and they're real. I'm okay with that. Like I'm really, really okay with that. And that's it for my 2-month mark. I hope this video makes it onto YouTube, and I hope you guys like it, and I hope to have more changes to report for the 3 months mark. This has been Valentine, and I hope you have a great month, and yeah, see you next month.